This is LA's first.
Live from Los Angeles, welcome to the Dr. Erin Show. We're all about manifestation, transformation, and breakthroughs. It's time to claim your birthright of prosperity, vitality, and love. So grab your tea or coffee because together we're awakening the world. May you live your truth. Live from Los Angeles, we come together each day to know the truth, live on spiritual principle, and align with universal law. We also come together in community, in Soulciété and New Thought Global, because we truly believe that everyone has a gift and message to bring to the world. We're committed to enlightenment, empowerment, and entrepreneurship. So today, we're going to talk about universal law of growth. We are on a series. We're on number 16 of 52 series. So if you are feeling frustrated at all, feeling like you're not getting the results that you want, you definitely want to listen to this podcast. Have you been posting on social media but only seen followers trickle in? Have you created that course but barely can get anyone to enroll? Do you feel like you should give up at times because you don't know if the work you've been doing is going anywhere? Well, guess what? Today, we're going to talk about universal law of growth and bring some hope and faith into your mind. Let's get our mind right. It's the most important thing that we do every day. And universal law is a great way to align and remember who we are and how we are demonstrating 24/7. So we have to really realize that universal law is not outside of ourselves. It is the dynamics of our thinking. It's the dynamics of our cells. It's the dynamics of how our subconscious mind is working. It's the dynamic of how our oneness is connected with the entire universe. So universal laws are really the axioms of how life works, how we demonstrate, how we manifest, and how our essence is, how we're always creating all the time. So it's important to understand universal laws so you can understand how you work. It's like reading the manual of you. Not the spiritual being, but the aspect of you as a human being, the aspect of you of how you're directing energy on mind. And we don't distinguish between being a spiritual being and a human being. It's all one thing going on. It's a dynamic, and it is this incredible thing called life. Okay, so let's dive into this. And I want to start with an excerpt. It's an excerpt that I found off the World Wide Web, and it goes something a little bit like this. So in the Far East, there is a tree called the Chinese bamboo tree. This remarkable tree is different from most trees in that it doesn't grow in the usual fashion. While most trees grow steadily over a period of years, the Chinese bamboo tree doesn't break through ground for the first 4 years. Then, in the 5th year, an amazing thing happens. The tree begins to grow at an astonishing rate. In fact, in a period of just 5 weeks, a Chinese bamboo tree can grow to the height of 90 feet. It's almost as if you can actually see the tree growing before your very eyes. Well, I'm convinced that life often works in a similar way. You can work for weeks, months, and even years on your dreams with no visible signs of progress, and then all of a sudden, things take off. Your business becomes profitable beyond your wildest dreams. Your marriage becomes more vibrant and passionate than you ever thought it could be. Yet all of this requires one thing: faith. The growers of the Chinese bamboo tree have faith that if they keep watering and fertilizing the ground, the tree will break through. Well, you must have the same kind of faith in your bamboo tree, whether it is to run a successful business, win a Pulitzer Prize, raise well-adjusted children, or what have you. You must have faith that if you keep making the calls, honoring your craft, reading to your children, reaching out to your spouse, or asking for donations, that you will see rapid growth in the future. This is the hard part for most of us. We get so excited about the idea that it's been planted. We have an idea, we plant it inside of us, and then we simply can't wait for it to blossom. Therefore, within days or weeks of the initial planting, we become discouraged and begin to second guess ourselves. Sadly, what we fail to realize is that the pursuing of the dream is a sure thing if we just don't give up. So long as you keep watering and fertilizing your dream, it will come to fruition. It may take weeks, it may take months, and it may even take years, but eventually the roots will take hold and your tree will grow. And then it does, and it grows in remarkable ways. We've seen this happen so many times. Henry Ford had to water his bamboo tree through 5 business failures before he finally succeeded in the Ford Motor Company. Richard Hooker had to water his bamboo tree for 7 years and through 21 rejections from publishers until he had an amazing war novel, MASH, and became a runway bestseller, spawning in movies and one of the longest running television series all time. Another great bamboo grower was a legendary jockey, Eddie Acaro. Acaro lost his first 250 races as a jockey before going to win 17 Triple Crown races and 554 stakes races for a total purse earning of $30 million. So I just want to make sure that I give credit to the person that wrote this real quick. I'm clicking around on my computer right now. The gentleman's name that wrote this was Erin. Okay, I just want to make sure I give credit for sure on that. And I love that excerpt. He does a very good job at that. And I want to say that where are the examples of the women? Where are the examples of the women, right? So as all of you guys know, I work with primarily people that want to rise as spiritual coaches, spiritual practitioners, spiritual leaders, ministers, and so on and so forth. I do work with women primarily, but we do have some gentlemen in as well. And so I think that the point is that if you are feeling frustrated, because sometimes, we see out there in the manifesting world, oh, you can manifest something right away. We don't teach manifesting of getting something. We teach embodiment in Soulciété of really becoming that which you seek, and there's what's called the mental equivalent that will grow the bamboo in your life, if you will. So I think so many people get frustrated. They want to see themselves, they measure themselves against the influence that they're seeing online, and they believe that it's possible to do that overnight. And I guess it is possible, but it's highly unlikely. And because you've got to embody the work, you've got to embody the mindset and the skill set. We teach that there's a power of decision right here, right now, that you can decide, like when the farmer puts the bamboo seeds into the ground, they have to believe, they have to decide, I'm going to grow some beautiful bamboo. I am going to grow, the world's best bamboo. I'm going to grow bamboo that is so tall and beautiful. They have to decide that, but they have to have faith in that. They have to keep watering it and knowing that it is just a matter of time if they keep doing what they need to do to nurture that bamboo, right? So it's super important that we recognize this and recognize within ourselves. So whether you're feeling frustrated or you feel like you're not getting the results fast enough that you want or whatever, you have to recognize that it's destiny. That if you keep watering your dreams, it's going to work, okay? So I think that it is so fascinating because I remember being that person years ago. I remember thinking, am I delusional? Should I give up? It's not, I can't complete anything. It was very difficult. But as you begin to complete one thing, as one little dream comes true, as if you publish a book or finally get that course done or finally get your first client or finally whatever, then you begin to even build more and more faith of that bamboo tree. Now, when I start creating something, and I'm truly committed to it, I know it's done. Like it is destiny because I know it's only up to me being committed to it and watering it and nurturing it. It might pivot a little bit. It might be a little bit different than I first imagined it to be, but I know it's destiny. It's done, okay? So the law of growth states this: nothing in the universe is still. Everything is in motion and is designed for expansion. There is no time in the spiritual realm. However, in the physical realm, some things take time, such things as growing a plant, becoming a dancer, or building a home. This universal law allows us to witness and measure our ability to manifest and demonstrate through space and time continuum, basically through the law of cause and effect. There's only one law. It is the law of cause and effect. The cause is spirit. The cause is you. The cause is source. And the effect is every last aspect of life, okay? All these distinctions of the laws, all these 52 distinctions are explaining, the different dynamics of the one law, the law of cause and effect, okay? So we have to understand that, say you decide, I want to become a ballerina dancer. I powerfully decide, this is my love, this is what I want to do with my life, blah, 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 right? Great. It's done. But you go and you're like, I don't know how to twirl. My muscles are not strong enough to do this. I'm not limber enough to do the splits, right? So it is the rudiments. That person now, they've decided they want to become a ballerina dancer. They've got to do rudiments every day. They've got to build the muscle memory to be able to do twirls and not get dizzy. They've got to build their muscles to align and hold that twirl in space, right? They've got to do all the things that it takes to have the law of growth around becoming a spiritual a ballerina, right? So we have to recognize the same thing's true with becoming a spiritual coach, right? There's lots of people in the program, they're like, I don't know, I haven't gotten that first client yet. Well, because you're not ready. The bamboo isn't ready. The bamboo needs to grow its roots, right? So as a spiritual coach, that means you need to get yourself steeped in the embodiment of it. You need to really live this work. You need to do pro bonos. You need to do your own inner work still. You need to embody the work, live it and breathe it and everything else. And when you're ready, your client will come. When the bamboo's ready, it will shoot up 90 feet, right? A lot of people start, in our group, they want to have social media followers. They're obsessed with social media, and I teach 10 different things to post on your social media, and it really is a science around it of understanding the psyche of what has people trust you and like you and want to do business with you. And people get on there and they'll start doing those 10 different types of posts. And then sure enough, they're not on there 1 week, and it's like, what's going on? I don't know. I'm just not getting a lot of followers, not really getting any results. It's like you can't expect to go on there for a couple months and have huge followings. Like, this takes time. The people that you see online they've been doing it for 5+ years consistently, right? They're the bamboo tree. They've been building and building and building. As I say, build a field and then all of a sudden people will come, right? You have to have faith and know that you've got to be consistent for way longer than what you think. You've got to, it's not about getting something or getting followers. It's about being committed to bringing your message out to the world consistently with value and all the other stuff, right? So the law of growth is recognizing that you've got to build your mindset and your skill set. And it doesn't always outpicture into money right away. It doesn't always outpicture into getting accolades right away. It doesn't always. Do you know how long I did my work for free? Like for years and years and years. I remember Dr. Drew came into the studio and he was being interviewed, not by me, and he was telling his story, and he was telling his story about how he did Loveline, and Loveline was a very famous radio show, and it was way before he did all the recovery shows and all this stuff. And he said he did that show for 10 years for free before he ever made a dime. He did it all through his when he was doing his internship as a doctor, and he did it all the time. And so what people don't see, they see Oprah Winfrey out there with a great, amazing, huge show, but what they didn't see is the, 20 years she did. I don't know how many years she did before she did Oprah. She did Oprah for 25 years, but she did, I don't know, probably 20 years before she even got Oprah, right? Like, I mean, you got to really understand people want instant results, and it's fine. There's a potential of really claiming your stake in this world and having it happen exponentially. We believe that there's miracles, that you can go beyond time and space, and anything and everything's possible. You can win the lottery, right? But we need to also know that this is a blessing. It's a blessing sometimes when you don't get the results right away, because it demands you to get developed in ways. Sometimes people get a little, cocky or egoic, if you will, when they get fast results, and they don't realize that it's not necessarily a blessing. You got to take a look at if life is for your growth, if that's really what we're here for, is to grow and evolve, then to get it so easy doesn't make us have to work harder for it. And sometimes working harder for it is the blessing to go deeper and deeper and deeper and really embody the work. I remember watching Muse, the documentary by Colby, the famous basketball player. I mean, man, talk about the law of growth. I mean, he was in the NBA, he was in the LA Lakers, and he still would go way beyond what was required for him to embody the law of growth and doing 1,000 extra shots every single day of taking that basketball and shooting it into the basket, in different ways. And building his technique. And really, he understood the law of growth. He understood that if he really, really, really embodied and watered his bamboo tree, if you will, he was going to get the best bamboo you could ever imagine, right? I mean, someone can just, go out there and throw some water on the bamboo, or someone can really go out and nurture their bamboo and make sure they, maybe even talk to their bamboo and fertilize their bamboo and make sure it's getting water consistently. And that bamboo is going to be a lot stronger than maybe the next bamboo that just kind of gets some water thrown on it. So today, as you go into your day, I invite you to think about where you are frustrated because you're not getting the results you want, and recognize that this is natural, The first year you do business, you might barely make any money whatsoever. The first $100,000 you make in business is the hardest $100,000 you'll ever make. But then guess what? It compounds, and then it compounds, and then it compounds. So we're teaching prosperity, we're teaching abundance, we're teaching embodiment. And you have to understand that there is a science to this. There is a science to faith. There's a science of mind. There is science of universal law, that we can measure this. We can measure it at a metaphysical level, at a quantum physics level. There is a science. If you declare something in your life and you keep nurturing it, but you also keep open-minded, you might be nurturing it in a restricted way that's not getting you any results. You've got to stay open-minded. The ballerina isn't going to get anywhere if she's not getting trained by, a professional, or if she doesn't put herself in an environment where there's other professional ballerinas. She may think that she is, he or she may think they want to become a ballerina, just do it in their house forever, but they may not have the correct training. Like, you need to get out there and really understand, if you want the best bamboo in the world, you might want to go see who else has grown great bamboo and take notes and learn from them and evolve in your ability to grow bamboo, right? Okay? So let's just know the truth here, taking a deep breath in through the nose and exhaling out. I just recognize this thing that's happening below the surface of life. This thing, this dynamic, the giant within, the roots that are being grown right now that may not be able to seen or felt by the senses, but from the subconscious mind and from the universal mind, it is growing a mountain. It is growing that biggest mountain you can ever imagine. It is going to come out of that ground and shoot to the sky and exponentially become the highest version of itself. And in this, I recognize that that is you, that's me, that is a part of us, that is the divine discontent that is so ready to emerge in the magnificence that it is. And in this, I simply declare faith. I declare the law of growth. I declare that whatever it is that you put your mind to and do not waver from, and you nurture and you focus on embodying, you have to, by the law of grace, by the law of divine, you have to have that outpicturing in this life. And so I simply say yes to your dreams, yes to your growth, and yes to the perfection of the unfoldment of all of it. I release this into the law because I am the law. My word is law. I simply know this in my mind, my heart. We live this. We speak this. We love this. We breathe this as together we say, and so it is. Okay, you guys have a beautiful day, and may you live your truth. Thank you for tuning in to Soulciété and Dr. Erin podcast. If you've had a calling to be a spiritual leader or coach, you can go to soulciété.com and check out our free training. If you've received value here, I would love it if you take a moment and give a 5-star review. In exchange, I have a ton of free gifts for you. Grab your free awakening book, 40 guided meditations, and digital manifesting masterclass. I also have a free money meditation and worksheet for you so you can begin to break through your scarcity mindset and claim your birthright of prosperity. You can get all of your gifts and learn about our upcoming transformational events in my bio link in both Instagram and Facebook. That's under drerin.tv, which is DRERIN.tv. Also, I'd love to invite you into our free private community on Facebook under groups called Soulciété. That is facebook.com/groups/Soulciété. That's SOULCIETE. Have a divine day, and may you live your truth.